They say when a werewolf rejects their true mate, the bond doesn't just break, it burns. Tonight, in the heart of the lunar court, Lady Iris Ashenmere would learn that some fires consume everything. A grand hall in chaos. Nobles in silk and velvet scramble backward, their screams echoing off vaulted ceilings. At the center stands a woman in a torn silver gown, her dark hair wild around her shoulders. Her hands, they're glowing with unnatural moonlight, pulsing like a heartbeat. Across from her, a man in royal armor collapses to his knees, clawing at his chest as if something inside him is trying to tear free. The air between them shimmers with silver energy, crackling like lightning before a storm. The woman's eyes flood with pure silver light. Her mouth opens, and she screams. Every window in the hall shatters at once. Glass rains down like deadly snow. The chandeliers swing violently overhead. And in that moment, everyone in the lunar court understands. They are witnessing something that should never have been possible. Before we dive into this story, if you love tales of forbidden romance, ancient magic, and kingdoms built on deadly secrets, hit that subscribe button right now. Trust me, you won't want to miss a single moment of what's about to unfold. This is the story of a human woman who infiltrated a werewolf kingdom, the cold prince who claimed her as his own, and the ancient lie that bound them both to a fate neither could escape. But to understand how we got here, to this moment of breaking and burning, we need to go back to where it all began. Iris Ashenmere was born to a disgraced noble family. Human aristocrats who once walked the halls of power, who once dined with kings and shaped policy with a single word. But that was before her father was accused of poisoning a werewolf envoy during peace negotiations, before the soldiers came in the dead of night. A stone manor on the border of werewolf territory sits in the shadow of the great pine forest, isolated and forgotten. Inside, in a room lit only by candlelight, 22-year-old Iris bends over ancient texts. Her dark auburn hair is pulled back in a simple braid. Her gray eyes, sharp, intelligent, scan symbols that most humans have never seen, let alone understood. She's teaching herself lunar law, the complex legal system that governs the werewolf kingdoms. It's the only thing that might restore her family's name. In the next room, she can hear her mother weeping. Again, it's been 10 years since they took her father. 10 years since they stripped the Ashenmere family of their titles, their lands, their dignity. The memory flashes. Young Iris, barely 12, watches from the top of the stairs as soldiers tear paintings from the walls. Her mother is on her knees, begging. The lead soldier, a wolf in human form, just smiles coldly. Your husband poisoned one of our own. Consider yourselves lucky you're allowed to live at all. Present-day Iris closes the book and reaches up to touch her left shoulder blade. There, hidden beneath her simple cotton dress, is a birthmark, crescent-shaped, about the size of a silver coin. It glows faintly when she's emotional, though she tries to hide it. Her mother's voice echoes in her mind. It's just a birthmark, darling. Nothing more. But Iris has read enough forbidden texts to know better. Humans don't carry the moon's kiss. Only werewolves bear the crescent mark, which means either she's cursed or she's not fully human at all. She pushes the thought away and whispers her mantra to the empty room. If I can prove my father's innocence and master their laws, they'll have to accept me. I don't need their wolves. I don't need their pity. I need their respect. But respect, as she would soon learn, was the least of what she needed. Now let me tell you about Prince Kael's Silverclaw. A throne room carved from white stone. Massive pillars rise to a ceiling painted with phases of the moon. Wolves in human form line the walls. Nobles, warriors, advisors. At the far end, elevated on a dais of marble, sits a young man of 26. Prince Kael Silverclaw, firstborn son of the Lunar Crown, heir to the greatest werewolf kingdom in the realm. He should look regal, powerful. Instead, he looks empty. His ice blue eyes scan execution orders with the same expression one might use to read a grocery list. No emotion, no mercy, no hesitation. He signs 3 death warrants before breakfast. The court whispers about him. They say he's broken. They say his wolf is dead inside him. They say he hasn't shifted in 7 years. The memory surfaces 7 years earlier. Kale is 19, younger, his eyes still holding warmth. He's running through the castle corridors, laughing, chasing a girl who looks exactly like him. Same sharp features, same ice-blue eyes, but hers are alight with mischief. This is Lyanna, his twin sister. She's laughing, her long silver blonde hair streaming behind her as she darts around corners. Kale, you're too slow. How are you supposed to protect the kingdom if you can't even catch me? He's laughing too. Actually laughing. Maybe I don't want to catch you. Maybe I'm just letting you think you're faster. She spins around, walking backward, grinning. Or maybe you're just making excuses because your little sister is better than you at everything. The memory shifts, darkens. Kale stands in the throne room, but this time he's younger, devastated. In his shaking hands, he holds a cloak. It's torn, shredded by claws, and it's soaked, completely soaked, in blood that's dried to a dark rust color. His father, King Aldrich, stands beside the throne. Tall, imposing, cold as winter stone. Young Kale's voice breaks. Send the army. She could still be alive. Father, please, we have to search for her. King Aldrich doesn't even look at his son. His voice is flat, final. A memorial will be held at the next moon. We do not negotiate with rogues. We do not show weakness by chasing ghosts. Your sister is dead, Kale. Accept it. No, you don't know that. There's no body. There's just this. She could be hurt. She could be waiting for us to. Enough. You are a prince of the lunar crown. You do not beg. You do not weep. The matter is closed. Lyanna had been sent on a diplomatic mission to the Shadow Peaks, a peace offering to the rogue packs that lived in the mountains. She was warm where Kale was serious, brave where he was cautious. She could make the entire court laugh with a single story, could defuse tension with a smile. She was everything good about their family. They found her cloak 3 weeks after she left. Just the cloak, torn by claws that didn't match any known pack. King Aldrich declared her dead within the hour. No search party, no investigation, no justice, just a memorial, just a stone with her name carved into it. But Kale couldn't accept it. For 3 years, he searched. He abandoned his duties, his training, everything. He hunted every rogue pack rumor, followed every whisper about the Shadow Peaks. He shifted into his wolf form and ran until his paws bled, tracking her scent through mountains and forests that stretched endlessly before him. On a mountain peak under a full moon, a massive silver wolf stands alone. He's howling. The sound is broken, anguished, a cry that echoes across empty valleys. They say he howled for 3 days straight, calling for a sister who would never answer. When he finally returned to the castle, the boy who loved poetry and stargazing was gone. In his place stood a prince who trusted no one, felt nothing, and believed that love was just another way to lose everything that mattered. He locked away his wolf. The pain was too great. If he never shifted again, he'd never have to feel that helpless again. And for 7 years, that's exactly what he did. Until a letter arrived that would change everything. Iris is in her study when she hears the knock. 3 sharp raps on the heavy wooden door. She's not expecting anyone. The Ashenmeres don't get visitors anymore. When she opens the door, there's no one there. Just a black envelope on the doorstep, sealed with silver wax bearing the symbol of the lunar court. A full moon surrounded by stars. Her hands tremble as she picks it up. This can't be good. She breaks the seal and unfolds the thick parchment inside. The words are written in elegant script. Lady Iris Ashenmere, you are hereby invited to the Moonfire Ball at the Lunar Court. The festival will commence on the night of the full moon. Your attendance is requested. The Lunar Court hosts the Moonfire Ball once every decade, a grand festival where werewolf nobles select mates, forge alliances, and display their power. It's the most important social event in the werewolf kingdoms. This year, for the first time in history, human families of distinguished service were invited. Iris reads the invitation 3 times. Her family is not on the list of distinguished service. They're disgraced, exiled in all but name. Yet someone with access to official court documents, has added her name. The ink is still wet in places, smudging slightly under her fingertips. She whispers to the empty room. This is a trap. It has to be. Her mother appears in the doorway. Lady Ashenmere looks so much older than she should. 10 years of grief have carved lines into her face. But when she sees the invitation, something sparks in her eyes. Or it's a chance, darling. A chance to be seen. To speak. To dance with wolves and prove we're not the poison they think we are. Mother, they'll tear me apart. I'm the daughter of a traitor in their eyes. Her mother takes her hands. You've spent 10 years preparing for this. 10 years studying their laws, learning their customs, understanding their ways better than most wolves do themselves. If anyone can walk into that court and survive, it's you. Iris looks down at the invitation, at the silver seal, at her name written in elegant script. And she makes a choice that will change her life forever. The night of the moonfire ball arrives. Iris steps out of the carriage, and for a moment, she forgets to breathe. The lunar court is magnificent. A Gothic castle of white stone and silver spires, illuminated by thousands of floating orbs that glow with actual moonlight, captured and contained by ancient magic. The ballroom itself is visible through massive arched windows, a sea of silk, jewels, and candlelight. She's wearing a midnight blue gown her mother spent their last coin to commission. It's simple compared to what she sees through the windows, but it's elegant. The fabric hugs her waist and flows to the floor. Her dark auburn hair is pinned up with silver combs, revealing the curve of her neck. She looks every inch a lady. She needs to. Because the moment she walks through those doors, she'll be prey in a room full of predators. The great doors open. A herald's voice rings out, though it sounds uncertain. Lady Iris Ashenmere of the House of Ashenmere. The ballroom doesn't go silent. That would be too dramatic. Instead, it's worse. Conversations pause mid-sentence. Dancing couples slow. Heads turn. Hundreds of eyes. Werewolf eyes that can see in the dark, that can smell fear from across a room, lock onto her. And she smells wrong. Human, yes, but not quite. There's something else beneath it, something they can't identify. It makes them uneasy. Across the ballroom, elevated on a dais beside his father's throne, Prince Kale sits slumped, going through the motions. He's not paying attention to the parade of she-wolves being presented to him. He's bored, numb. His father leans over, voice low and threatening. You will choose a mate tonight, Kale. The kingdom needs an heir. You have until midnight, or I will choose for you. Kale doesn't respond. His eyes drift across the crowd without interest. And then they stop. Lock. Focus. On her. His internal voice, surprised despite himself. She doesn't smell like fear. Every human who enters this court reeks of it. Sharp. Acidic. Unmistakable. But her. She smells like a storm about to break. Like electricity in the air before lightning strikes. What is she? He stands. The movement draws immediate attention. The prince hasn't moved from his throne all evening. And now he's descending the dais, walking across the ballroom floor with predatory grace. The crowd parts like water before him. Iris sees him coming. For a moment, she considers running. He's tall, broad-shouldered, moving with lethal grace. His ice blue eyes are fixed on her like she's prey. This is it. This is where she dies. He stops in front of her. Up close, he's even more intimidating. But she spent too many years preparing to back down now. She meets his eyes. Doesn't flinch. He speaks first, his voice low and cold. You're the Ashenmere girl. The traitor's daughter. She could deny it. Make excuses. Grovel. Instead, she lets a small, dangerous smile touch her lips. And you're the prince who hasn't shifted in 7 years. I suppose we're both disappointments. The silence that follows is deafening. No one speaks to the prince like that. Ever. Several nobles gasp. One drops their wine glass, the crystal shattering on marble floors. And then, impossibly, Kale's lips twitch. Not quite a smile, but close. He extends his hand. Dance with me. It's not a request. Iris takes his hand. The moment their skin touches, something sparks. Literally. A flicker of silver light that both of them feel, but neither acknowledges. He leads her to the center of the floor. The orchestra, uncertain, begins a waltz. They dance. And as they move in perfect rhythm, Kale speaks quietly, his words meant only for her ears. Here's the game. You'll stay in this court as my guest. If you can last one lunar cycle, 1 month, without breaking, I'll grant your family a formal trial to clear your father's name. Iris's heart pounds, but she keeps her voice steady. And if I refuse, then I'll assume the rumors are true. That Ashenmere's poison wolves because they fear what they can never be. Beneath her gown, the birthmark on her shoulder burns. Actually burns, like it's being branded into her flesh. She grips his hand tighter, her nails digging into his palm. 1 month, then you'll give me the truth. He nods once. 1 month. The song ends. But neither of them let go immediately. The silver spark between their palms grows warmer, brighter. Other dancers notice and give them a wide berth. Later that night, Iris is led to a private chamber deep in the castle. Kale is already there, waiting. On the table between them sits a ceremonial dagger, its blade etched with symbols that seem to move in the candlelight. He picks it up, explaining as he does. In the old laws, a human under a wolf's protection shares their blood. It's symbolic. You'll carry my scent. No one in this court will be able to touch you without answering to me. He draws the blade across his palm without hesitation. Blood wells up, dark and red. He extends his hand toward her. Your turn. Iris takes the dagger. Her hand shakes slightly, but she cuts her palm cleanly. The pain is sharp, bright. She clasps his hand, their blood mingling, warm and wet. And then the world explodes. Silver light erupts from their joined hands, so bright both of them have to look away. The light spreads up their arms, across their chests, wrapping around them like chains made of pure moonlight. The temperature in the room drops precipitously, frost forming on the windows, and then spikes, so hot the candles nearly melt. The frost melts in the same instant. Kale gasps and stumbles backward, breaking the contact. His eyes are wide, the first real emotion Iris has seen from him. What are you? Iris stares at her hand. The cut is already healing, the flesh knitting itself back together with unnatural speed. Her eyes flash gold for just a split second before returning to gray. I don't know. What neither of them knew, what they couldn't have known, is that a blood oath between true mates doesn't just protect. It awakens. And Iris Ashenmere had just awakened something that had been sleeping in her bloodline for generations. The first week of Iris's stay in the lunar court passes in careful distance. She's been given quarters in the West Wing, nice enough, but isolated. Deliberately so. She's a curiosity, an outsider, the human girl under the prince's protection. She spends her days in the royal library, a massive hall filled with thousands of ancient texts. The ceiling is painted with constellations that actually move, tracking the real sky above. Most of the wolves avoid it. Reading is seen as a human weakness. But Iris has never been more grateful for solitude. She decodes ancient texts, cross-references legal precedents, builds her case for her father's trial one piece of evidence at a time. And every day, without fail, she feels eyes on her. She looks up from her work, and there, in the shadows between the towering shelves, is a figure. Kale. He never approaches, never speaks, just watches. She assumes he's ensuring her safety, or maybe ensuring she doesn't steal anything. She can't tell which. On the 7th day, Lady Morgana Ravencrest makes her move. Morgana is everything Iris is not. Tall, elegant, with silver blonde hair that cascades down her back and amber eyes that mark her as pure-blooded werewolf nobility. She's been competing for Kale's attention for years. The scene is a formal dinner in the Great Hall. Iris sits at the far end of the long table, as far from the royal family as protocol allows. Morgana is seated 3 places down, surrounded by admirers. The she-wolf stands gracefully, holding a crystal glass filled with dark red wine. Lady Ashenmere, I've been meaning to welcome you properly to court. Please, let me offer you a drink in friendship. Morgana walks closer. Iris tenses. And then, just as Morgana passes behind her chair, she trips. The wine spills, all of it, directly onto Iris's pale green gown. The fabric darkens immediately, ruined. Gasps ripple around the table. Morgana's hand flies to her mouth in perfect theatrical shock. Oh, oh, how terribly clumsy of me. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean. Cale's voice cuts through the room like a blade. He doesn't shout. He doesn't need to. Morgana. The she-wolf freezes mid-apology. Everyone freezes. Cale's eyes have gone silver, his wolf rising to the surface for the first time in years. Not shifting. Just there. Watching. Dangerous. Apologize. Properly. Morgana's face goes pale. She drops into a curtsy, so low she's nearly kneeling. Forgive me, Lady Ashenmere. I was careless. Unforgivably so. Iris, her dress soaked and sticking to her skin, simply nods. Accidents happen, Lady Ravencrest. Think nothing of it. But Morgana doesn't miss the warning in Cale's silver eyes. She backs away slowly and doesn't speak another word for the rest of the meal. By the 12th day, Iris has established a routine. She walks the moonlit gardens each evening, just after sunset when the floating moon orbs begin to glow. The gardens are beautiful. Ancient roses with petals that shimmer, night-blooming jasmine that releases intoxicating perfume, stone paths winding between fountains filled with water that glows with bioluminescent algae. She pretends not to notice that Cale follows her. Every evening, at a distance, his footsteps are silent, but she can feel him through the bond. A constant awareness of where he is, how he's feeling. It's growing stronger each day, this connection between them, humming quietly beneath her skin. On the 15th day, everything shifts. There's a dispute in the open court. A wolf lord named Brennan of the Eastern Marches is arguing a land claim against a smaller pack. He's using an obscure provision in lunar law to seize their territory. The smaller pack's representative, an older wolf with gray in his beard, is trying to defend his people's rights, but he doesn't have the legal knowledge. He's being steamrolled. Iris is sitting in the public gallery, watching. She's not supposed to speak. Humans don't have a voice in lunar court. But she's read this law. She knows it backward and forward. And Lord Brennan is wrong. He's twisting the language. She stands. Her chair scrapes against stone. The court goes quiet. King Aldrich looks at her with cold disdain. The human girl wishes to speak? How entertaining. Iris's heart pounds, but she keeps her voice steady and clear. Forgive the interruption, Your Majesty. But Lord Brennan is citing the Treaty of Silver Falls, year 1247. However, he's omitting the third codicil, which clearly states that land claims can only be made if the territory has been uninhabited for 3 consecutive seasons. The Eastern Marches Pack has maintained continuous residence for 5 years. By law, the claim is invalid. Dead silence. Lord Brennan's face turns red. The codicil is ceremonial language, not legally binding. Iris doesn't back down. Actually, my lord, the codicil was ratified during the reign of Alpha Varen, whose decrees are considered foundational law. If you'd like, I can cite the exact page in the third codex where it's confirmed. King Aldrich looks to his legal advisor. The advisor nods reluctantly. The girl is correct, Your Majesty. The court erupts in whispers. A human just challenged a wolf lord on lunar law, and won. Cale, sitting on his throne, watches Iris return to her seat. And for the first time in 7 years, his lips curve into something that might actually be called a smile. That evening, Iris is summoned to Cale's private study. It's a room she's never seen before, lined with books, warmed by a fireplace, surprisingly intimate. Rain pelts against the tall windows. Cale is standing by the window when she enters. He doesn't turn around. You embarrassed Lord Brennan today. Iris clasps her hands, uncertain. I didn't mean to cause trouble. Good. He's an arrogant fool who's been exploiting smaller packs for years. Someone needed to knock him down. I just didn't expect it to be you. He finally turns. Looks at her. Really looks. You're not what I expected, Iris Ashenmere. What did you expect? Fear? Weakness? Maybe cunning? A schemer trying to work her way into the court's good graces. But you just speak truth and let the consequences fall where they will. It's either incredibly brave or incredibly stupid. Maybe both. He almost smiles again. Iris takes a breath and pulls out a folded parchment. I found something. About the night my father was accused. 3 witnesses testified against him. 2 recanted within a week. The third disappeared entirely. Kale takes the document, jaw tightening. You're accusing the Alpha King of murder. That's treason. Then help me prove I'm wrong. Why keep fighting? Your father's dead. Your family's name is Ash. Why not disappear? Her voice breaks. My father told me the night they took him, the world will try to make you small. Don't let them. So I won't. Kale's hand moves toward her face, then stops. You're not like the others. They grovel or scheme. You just burn. And you're not as cold as you pretend. I have to be. What happened to you, Kale? He turns to the window. I had a sister, Lina. She was everything I wasn't. Warm, brave, reckless. She went to the Shadow Peaks on a peace mission. We got her cloak back, shredded and soaked in blood. My father declared her dead immediately. No search. His voice breaks. I spent 3 years hunting for her. Found nothing. When I finally accepted she was gone, I realized love is just a countdown to loss. So I stopped. Stopped shifting. Stopped feeling. Iris steps closer. Then be brave now. Help me find the truth. Maybe we'll find hers too. The bond flares between them, silver light pulsing. 20 days in, neither could deny it. This wasn't symbolic protection. It was a mate bond. Forbidden because Iris was human. Day 21. The throne room is packed. King Aldrich announces, my son has chosen. In 3 days, Prince Kale will wed Lady Morgana Ravencrest, uniting our kingdoms. The crowd applauds. Iris feels like she's been punched. The bond screams in protest. Aldrich continues, smiling cruelly. To celebrate, we'll finally close the Ashenmere case. The trial proceeds in 2 days, with execution already prepared. That night, Kale appears in Iris's chambers. You're marrying her. I don't have a choice. You always have a choice. Not if I want to keep you alive. He knows about the bond. My mother was human. He killed her for it. The law forbidding human-wolf bonds? He wrote it. If he declares our bond publicly, he can execute you legally. So you'll just let him win. I'll let you live. She grabs his face. I didn't come here to be saved. I came here to fight. They kiss, desperate, furious. Morning comes. Iris descends to breakfast and finds chaos. Kale is on the floor, convulsing. Black veins spread across his skin. A healer checks him frantically. Wolfsbane. Concentrated. King Aldrich's eyes land on Iris. The human girl had access to his chambers. Search her rooms. Guards drag her away. They return with a vial. Found it in her wardrobe. Morgana steps forward, tearful. I saw her take it from the apothecary. That's a lie. Aldrich signals guards. Dungeons. Silver chains. Kale, barely conscious, reaches out. Not her. As Iris is dragged away, she feels it. Kale's heartbeat slowing, dying. If you're still watching, drop a comment. Would you fight for a love that could cost everything? And hit that like button. Now let's see what Iris does next. The dungeons are ancient. Guards clamp silver chains on Iris. The moment they touch her skin, she screams. They burn. Above, Kale's heartbeat is barely there. The bond unravels. It feels like her soul is tearing apart. Kale's heartbeat stops. 1 second. 2. 3. Then resumes, weaker. Something inside Iris breaks. Her birthmark explodes with blinding light. The chains shatter. Her body convulses. Bones reshape. Her scream becomes a howl. Where Iris knelt, a white wolf now stands. Massive, with pure white fur and eyes burning gold. The moon's kiss isn't a birthmark. It's a bloodline mark of the first wolves, blessed by the moon goddess. Centuries ago, some were cursed into human form. Their descendants lived as humans, never knowing. Until something awakened them. The white wolf runs. Crashes through the cell door. Following the bond. She crashes into Kale's chambers. He's dying. She shifts back, naked, glowing. She bites her wrist and forces her blood into his mouth. Drink. Her golden blood flows. The black veins recede. The poison expels. He gasps. You're a wolf. I didn't know. He pulls her close. You saved me. An old wolf enters, the royal archivist. I was there. The night Lord Ashenmere was accused. Your father didn't poison the envoy. The king did. The envoy discovered Aldrich isn't the rightful alpha. His brother Dorian was. Dorian mated with a hidden blood wolf named Elena, Cale's real mother. Aldrich killed them both. Took the throne by murder. He's been hunting hidden bloods to erase evidence. My father found out. That's why he was killed. And Morgana is Aldrich's niece. The poison was hers. Aldrich ordered it. There's more. Lyanna wasn't killed. She discovered she was a hidden blood. Aldrich sent her to the Shadow Peaks knowing it was a trap. She's alive, in the old silver mines. She's alive. The court is summoned. Aldrich sits confidently. The doors open. Cale walks in alive. Iris beside him. The archivist carries scrolls. The poison should have killed me. But my mate saved me. You killed my mother Elena, a hidden blood. You killed your brother, the rightful king. You took the throne through murder. Lies. Iris shifts partially, eyes flooding gold, silver marks racing across her skin. Then explain the moon's kiss. Explain your archivist's records. The archivist presents documents proving everything. Cale delivers the final blow. You tried to kill Lyanna. She's alive, imprisoned because she discovered the truth. Aldrich's claws extend. You won't even shift. I haven't shifted since I lost her. But she showed me something. Strength isn't isolation. It's connection. Cale shifts. A massive silver wolf. The true royal bloodline. The court drops to their knees. Morgana steps forward, kneeling. He threatened my brother. Said if I didn't help, he'd kill him. I'll testify. Iris looks down. Then testify. Your brother will be safe. The sacred dueling grounds under a full moon. Alpha challenge. To the death. Cale and Aldrich circle in wolf form. They clash. Aldrich's claws are laced with wolfsbane. He rakes Cale's shoulder. Black veins spread. Iris's voice rings out. You are not alone. The bond explodes with light. Iris's strength pours into Cale. The wolfsbane burns away. Iris shifts, joining the fight. White and silver, moving as one. They corner Aldrich. Cale's jaws close around his throat. Cale shifts back. Tell me where my sister is. The Shadow Peaks. Old silver mines, 3rd level. You'll stand trial. You'll face every family you destroyed. 1 week later. Cale is crowned king. Iris stands beside him as an equal. His first decree. The laws forbidding bonds between humans and wolves are abolished. We are all children of the moon. Iris's family name is restored. Morgana leads a council helping Aldrich's victims. The library opens to everyone. Cale rides to the Shadow Peaks. In the mines, he finds her. Lyanna. Thin, scarred, but alive. She smiles. Took you long enough. He carries her home. In the gardens, Iris meets her. Lyanna grins. So you're the one who taught my brother to feel again. He taught himself. I just reminded him why it mattered. Weeks later, the ball is held again. Mixed couples dance together. Real joy. Cale and Iris stand on the balcony. Do you ever wish it had been simpler? He takes her hand. Every day? But simple wouldn't have been us. You taught me something. The masks we wear aren't always to hide. Sometimes they protect the parts still healing. And now I'm ready. They kiss as the full moon rises. The bond blazes bright. A beacon. The wolf's veil was never about hiding. It was about waiting for someone brave enough to see beneath the surface. 2 questions. Would you choose love over legacy? Would you risk everything for someone who sees the real you? And if you discovered you were something impossible, would you run or fight to claim it? Drop your answers below. If this moved you, hit that like button. And subscribe because there are many more stories to tell. Stories of love and magic, of people who refuse to be made small. Thank you for watching. The pack is waiting for you.